Value of Wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The Value of Wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out to Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We done shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Oh, you didn't know? Well, you better let somebody know, because we are here. We're live with your Wednesday. Sorry, I'm stuck on Monday like a lot of people, because everybody wants to keep talking about like it's Monday. Monday was such a big, huge ordeal. It was life-changing. It changed the face. The Attitude Era's back, but, you know, that's a lot of what the talk's been about today. But we're here to talk about Wednesday nights, and you know what happens when it's Wednesday night? TK gets to go on a Twitter rampage. That's what he gets to do. Anyways, that boy can't stay off his Twitter long enough to get a pair. Anywho, we are here with your AEW Dynamite post-show review for March 27, 2024. No action from Hardcore Soft Serve tonight. Only a brief scene with him and his Continental Championship watching the Tampon Bucks. Woo! Somebody's on fire tonight. Anyways, welcome to your AEW Dynamite post-show review. We're going to go over everything that happened on Dynamite. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some good. Actually, there was good, bad, mediocre, good. That was about it. That sums up the show. I thank you for being here. We'll see you next week on the AE Dynamite post-show review. Need I say any more? Anyways, let me go ahead and introduce my boy. Come on, big up, boy. Yes, oh yes. You know me. I'm a big guy. And are you ready? Well, you better get ready and get lit, because it's time to talk about this show. We started off with Will Ospreay and Shibata. Wow, what a great match these two put on. The first 30 minutes of the show was Ospreay and Shibata. Well, maybe the first 20 minutes, felt like 30 minutes. So this match went 18 minutes and 57 seconds. It was a good 4-star match. I will agree with that. Back and forth action, but you know, Will Ospreay's winning this thing. He hits with the we get a Tiger Driver to Shibata. Shibata up to a seated position. We get the Hidden Blade. Will Ospreay just making it like he's making it, opening the show tonight. But this, I mean, the back and forth, the over the top. Yeah, it was the only match really worth watching. Yes, there was a decent match at the end, but I think you could have watched this show, watched this match, turned off Dynamite, and everything will be good. And I'm sure the ratings are going to reflect that too, because everything after this was just kind of mid. There wasn't a whole lot of interest. Wrestling in-ring action was decent. Yes, I can't take away from what the performers do in the ring, but if there's not enough interest, if it feels repetitive, if it's all this other stuff and there's not anything to bring into it or bring out of it, then it's, you know, there's so much. Ospreay brings so much more into it, and Shibata, you knew these two were going to be a higher fighting match, and I think you also know that this was going to be a wrestling match, so your expectations were set for what was going to happen in the ring, not what was going to come out of it. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this opening match?
Well, I mean, pretty much said it all as far as the beginning match. It's Will Ospreay, it's Shibata. I felt the same way about this match as I did the main event. So where you're saying this was the only match for your taste, I'm like, no, the main event I think was good too, in-ring wise. But we'll get there when we get there.
Something they're starting to do, we got a video package because Will Ospreay's taking on Bryan Danielson at Dynasty, so they gave us a video package of Danielson's career, mentioning Shawn Michaels as his original trainer, which was kind of crazy to think about that they said Shawn Michaels' name on AEW TV, but they wouldn't talk about WWE in any form or his career in WWE. They did mention that he suffered an injury and couldn't wrestle anymore, but they really didn't go into in-depth in that. And decent video package with Bryan Danielson. Go ahead.
What I enjoyed about this was the fact that they didn't necessarily talk about it as much, but they showed you, Bryan Danielson was a big deal in Ring of Honor before he came to WWE.
Yes.
So they showed you like his championship. Showed you his, you know, indie-ness, if you will. But he was so over by the time he got to the original NXT. The fact that they didn't talk about his WWE career, I kind of understand, but I wish they would have touched upon it, even if they didn't name WWE by its name, to talk about being another league or something. I'm not quite sure how they would have done it differently off the top of my head, but because that's also a big part of his career. He was over as an indie star. He got himself over in WWE, and then when he came to AEW, he's still over. He is a big deal everywhere. That's all I'm trying to say.
From there, we went backstage with Renee, and the mustard and mayonnaise boys were together. Hashtag tampon bucks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to say hashtag. Actually, we'll do this. Yeah, and go. And then we're going to go there. There you go. Hashtag tampon bucks. Live in living color for y'all. They came on. They talked to Renee. They talked about the Elite. They have a tag team match coming up next. Okada pulls up in his Lambo with his generic-looking title on his shoulder. Whoopee freaking do. Is there anything you want to add to your tampon bucks and Mr. as you have claimed him, Mr. Soft Serve? The water gun. The slightly misted one.
Not really
The
at
spritzer.
this point.
Anyways, from there we got the Young Bucks versus Private Party. I don't even know what to say. Don't even care. Yeah, tampon bucks hashtag. This match went back and forth for a while here. At least the Private Party got a little bit of showing. For a brief minute there, it almost looked like they were going to give it to him, because we got a low blow on Cassidy. Then Quinn gets the tag team belt, hits one of them. The ref's distracted. Matt hits Queen with the belt. Nick grabs the Brutes. We get a cover for 2. Matt with the leg on the bottom rope, which was horrible. The referee should have seen that. But it's like, it was so blatant. It was horrible.
Right.
Queen up to the top rope, 630 splash, and Quinn lands on his damn forehead. We get an EVP trigger, and Nick slips up and misses it and has to come back around basically and do it. Bucks get over. Bucks gonna win the tag team titles. Bucks, fucking tampon jerk off Bucks coming out here looking like mustard and mayonnaise, and yeah, don't care. Your thoughts? This match went 13 minutes and 25 seconds.
We expected the Bucks to go over. That was whatever. What I'm kind of proud of is Mark Quinn is starting to up his game a little bit as far as his presentation. When he used to come out with that long tail as a part of his ring jacket, like that just looked like some of the goofiest stuff that to me just never really made the character. It didn't fit the gimmick that they're going for. He didn't look fly. He didn't, it just looked silly. The jacket he came out with tonight looks so much better than, like I said, most of his AEW run. I'm glad that Party got a bit of a showcase because we knew they weren't winning tonight. So, it turned out about as well as could be, I think, at this point. They need more of a build. They need more wins to be taken seriously. They have the tools, but they got to be booked right. That's kind of my thoughts on the whole situation there.
Maybe a veteran tag team should put them over. Damn. Anyways,
more than just once, by the way.
Yes.
That was, what, 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Who remembers 3 years ago at this point anymore? What did they do with them after it, Private Party's
right.
level went... They beat the Young Bucks, kind of went here, and then they just kind of,
there was a little bit of talk when Impact Wrestling and AEW were working together. There was a little bit of talk maybe they could go to like Impact and maybe win their tag titles and build them up that way, but that never came to fruition.
Anyways, we got a video package of Takeshita from there, and then we had an SUV pull up in the back, and here's the CEO, Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, Mrs. Hancock, whichever you want to call her nowadays.
Sasha Hancock?
Yes. So we're still backstage with Renee. She's talking to Hook, and Jericho comes in, and Jericho says, yeah, I have a thing. He never talked about manage someone, but now after 33 years, he didn't say he was going to manage Hook, but he's going to give him advice, and Hook appreciates the praise. Of course, he'll take advice from Jericho, but he knows he's Jericho, so he knows Jericho is, and so Jericho doesn't have his little Guevara, doesn't have little Sammy, so now he's going to latch on to Hook and fuck Jericho. Basically. Anyways, your thoughts?
Damn. It depends on where it goes. I don't know if I see anything good coming out of it either. But this is one of those I have to wait and see. how good or how bad this is gonna get.
So does this mean Sammy Guevara, when he comes back, he's going to be a heel because now he's going to be jealous that Jericho's aligned himself with Hook?
Or he realigned with all of them.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah, I saw that a mile away.
Anyways, it's the women's match. The winner of this match gets a title shot at Julia Hart in the TBS title. You had Will Nightingale versus Sky Blue versus Anna Jay. Shocking that Anna Jay still works there. And then Chris Statlander. The only part that was kind of funny about this is Will Nightingale came out with Stokely. Then Anna Jay came out, which was surprising. And then Chris Statlander came out with Stokely. So Stokely at some point had to run back up the ramp and get into position to come out with somebody else. So that was great. In-ring quality, it was a good match. Everything went pretty good here. It was a good, solid match. It was an entertaining match. Of course, Mercedes Moné had came out before all them, looking like Miss Hancock. I don't know what she was exactly wearing. She feels so Sasha Banks. She said at commentary, I guess it's a safe place for her. I don't feel like she added anything. We got to the end. We got a lace walk from Statlander. Jay sends her to the apron. High kick to Chris. Willow back in. Locks the hips. Power bomb for the 1, 2, 3. Will Nightingale gets the win here. Will Nightingale is going to get Julia Hart. I don't know if it means anything. I don't know if she's going to beat Julia Hart. I don't know if we're going to get turns upon turns, or if Monet going to cost Nightingale, or Statlander going to turn on Nightingale and cost Nightingale. Sky Blue going to cost Julia Hart. I guess we should be happy that we just can't predict it because we don't know who's going to turn on who in this storyline.
Right.
But again, I don't know if there's a lot to invest in it because it just feels like these are the same four. Well, other than Anna Jay. Anna Jay's just kind of. I know people are like, "How did Anna Jay get in here?" Because I'm like, Tony Khan doesn't know how to book a show and just went any. Oh, Anna, go get out there and wrestle. It's throwing stuff at the wall. There was no real reason for Anna Jay to be here. He just wanted to add somebody different to the flavor sauce.
Are you really complaining?
No, but I mean, at the end of the day,
I understand your logic.
At the end of the day, it's like, why was she in there, and why are we still having these four? Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Chris Statlander, and Will Nightingale. This thing needs to come to some crescendo. It needs to end. I'm tired of seeing these four women mixed up. It's like every week for, 6 months now, I feel like. We've had these four women fighting in some form.
I don't know.
Well, it used to be Statlander and Willow with Sky Blue, and then Sky Blue we thought she was with Julia, and then she wasn't. And then for whatever reason, after she lost the eye patch, then she went back to working with Julia. I mean, these women have been fighting since, I think, All In last year. If I really want to go back and think about it now, I think this storyline has been bleeding over and over and over, and it's just like, I'm done with it. I guess it's the other part to it. Will Nightingale's great. I love her. I think she's a great talent. I hope she beats Julia Hart, takes this title. Julia Hart's just kind of feeling bland because they really haven't given her anybody to beat. Like, I'm glad she won the title. She was hot when she won the title, but she hasn't really beaten anybody since she got the title.
But, again, not her fault.
No, none of this is on the performer's fault. I'm not mad at a Chris Statlander or Will Nightingale, an Anna Jay, or a Sky Blue, or a Mercedes Moné. It's just Sky Blue Julia Hart got this title. The storyline was there. She got the title. She beat Chris Statlander, and then they never really do anything with her. They just kind of dangle her around. And it's the same four women have been dancing around with the stupid title. And I'm just like, okay, can we move to something new?
But isn't this the greatest women's title? I mean, women's division that they set up for Mercedes?
I guess this is the greatest women's title in AEW because the AEW title looks like trash around a character that's just slowly dying.
Yeah, I understand.
Julia Hart's here. She attacks Will Nightingale afterwards, and then her and Mercedes Moné have a stare down. Ooh. Anything you want to add to this?
This one I'm gonna leave alone.
And just God, this review is gonna be fast.
The only thing worse than this was when we eventually get to Tony Storm's segment.
Yes, and then we were backstage and we had Dustin Rhodes, and he's 3-1 in 2024. So why isn't he getting a world title match from Tony Khan? Because the rankings are coming back today. The rankings are coming back because the rankings are all important today. Now tomorrow, I don't know, and on Collision they may not be, and maybe on Rampage they might be, but they might not be. And next Dynamite, now that we've already figured out who the number one contender is, then we don't have to worry about the rankings. We already got a number one contender. So the rankings aren't important until sometime in May when we got to worry about finding a champion or title match for then. Then we'll worry about the rankings again. When's the last time the rankings got posted? Somebody tell me that. Anyways, we had Dustin Rhodes backstage, and then Butcher feels like he's an important player in AEW. So he's going to challenge Dustin, and they're going to go wrestle on Rampage because that's going to draw people's eyes to Rampage. I'm going to be tuning in to see Butcher and Dustin Rhodes wrestle in a ring, not because it would be a bad match, but who cares about either of these guys? Sorry, I love Dustin Rhodes, but I mean, Tony, let Dustin go.
There are some old school fans that would care about Dustin.
Yes.
Now, in this particular match, not necessarily, because it's against Butcher, and Butcher's not much of a name in AEW either, but some people actually do care about Dustin Rhodes, even though he hasn't been featured on TV.
Well, Dustin Rhodes needs to go back to WWE as Dustin Rhodes. We don't need Goldust back, Triple H. Just let Dustin come in and be Dustin. The Dustin we're getting right now would be great in WWE. He can go help Cody because he's tweeting more about what The Rock's doing than what he's doing in his own company. Which is obviously not important because he's going to face the Butcher. What's next? The Candlestick Maker?
What?
Three blind mice. Three blind mice.
Oh, Lord.
Right? Anyways, so yeah, the Young Bucks won their tag team tournament match against Private Party, and so they're going to fight the winner of the other Western. The Western. All of a sudden, we have the West versus the East in tag team brackets. I'm like, why? They made this. They said this 100 times. Oh, it's the Western brackets, the Western brackets, the Eastern brackets, the Western bracket. I'm like, who comes up with this dumb shit?
WTF.
What the hell is this? Or did Tony Khan catch that P. Diddy's going down and was like, I want to recreate the East Coast West Coast feud? I mean, why do we need to have the West brackets versus the East brackets? What is this the freaking NBA? Is this are we trying to get in tune with the NCAA like blah blah blah? Yeah, what? Anyways, the other teams in the Western bracket, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, part of the Undisputed Kingdom, your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, that their manager, Adam Cole, who, if I recall, Redacted wanted to make him a manager for Keith Lee in WWE, and now he's in AEW, but now he's a manager. So maybe Redacted was right all along. But anyways. So Adam Cole told Wardlow to make sure Mike Bennett and Matt Taven don't lose their titles, just so we can clarify this, because I know a lot of people are like, we're with Wardlow tonight. Well, Adam Cole didn't say make sure they win new titles. He just said make sure they don't lose their titles. So I guess Wardlow was an important asset tonight because they weren't defending their titles. So he didn't have to be there to make sure they didn't lose. So it makes sense of that storyline. Where is Wardlow? Adam Cole comes out and punks him out, and where's Wardlow? Oh, wait. Why do I feel this is so familiar? God, I wish we had a network for AEW because we could go back and watch the Pinnacle and fall out of that and watch Wardlow become something to nothing. Because we're doing the same thing. He hasn't been on TV. He's going to go away. And you know what? Tony Khan's going to bring him back like he's something special. I swear. He's going to come back when Adam Cole's all healed. And then Wardlow's going to get another world title shot because he's all this and a bag of chips. Oh, stupid bookie. Anyways. Trip Beretta and Orange Cassidy, best friends, taking on the Undisputed Kingdom. We got no Adam Cole. We got Roderick Strong out there. He almost cost his team. He's looking like an idiot. Even with interference, your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions lost clean. In the ring, Mike has Trent stuck on the apron, pulls Taven down. Trent with a jackknife. 1, 2, 3. Trip Beretta, Orange Cassidy, best friends. Who in the crack smoking? Tony Khan write this review. This fool gave it a 5-star match.
Someone smoking that not smoking. I'm sorry.
Whoever wrote this review needs to go back to kindergarten. Kenny Omega would have it. Okay, yeah, a Cero. Dude, no. 5-star matches don't get to just be given out like candy. This isn't Trick or Treat. This isn't freaking Halloween. How retarded are you? This was not a 5-star match. Not in any means and by necessary. Best friends hug.
No.
What the hell? Anyways, this was a wow. Oh, let's go OC. So you're Orange Cassidy fan. Oh my God, you must really be on that Tony Khan. Oh, Wardlow's not even in the building. Wardlow's sitting at home. Don't tell me he's in catering. He's sitting at home. The Undisputed Kingdom, your tag team champions, you're part of this new all glorious, all high Undisputed Kingdom thing that was the Devil storyline that ended MJF. That has nothing. The Undisputed Kingdom storyline is dead. Adam Cole feels like a stupid idiot. These two goofballs feel like a waste of time. Send them back to Ring of Honor where they can defend the titles and maybe they'll feel important on Ring of Honor TV.
And the sad part is on Roderick Strong's jacket, the back still had the devil emblem, for lack of what to call it.
Roderick Strong interfered.
It's all dead. Why?
Roderick Strong tries to interfere and they still lose. Clean. Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions lose cleanly. Can anybody explain how you have a tag team champions lose here cleanly? With interference, with help from Roderick Strong. And yes, where was Wardlow? I mean, honestly, wasn't he regulated to be the bodyguards, the protector of all things? And then we get the Young Bucks. They get to come up on the Cody Vader. I mean, the Tampon Buck Vader, the Tampon Vader. Yes, they like to be shoved up things, so they came up through a hole, right? Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
They came up and they stood on it, and they talked about how expensive it was to use that thing. They ran their little tampony mouse and then went back down. I mean, what?
Nothing like that.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that? No.
I mean,
Thank you.
Tremperetta and Orange Cassidy, I like them, but it doesn't make sense to have the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions constantly look like fools. Constantly lose.
I know, and they're supposed to be part of this big Undisputed Kingdom, this big faction in AEW that's supposed to have all the titles and feel important. And then Kyle O'Reilly's here looking like he's malnourished and living off the street corner because he's working for peanuts or something. I don't know what's wrong with this man. Anyways, he's here. He's going to do it alone. He loves his buddies, but I get why he doesn't want to be associated with them. I do.
I wouldn't want to be either at this point. Jeez.
Now to the only other match that was worth watching on the show. I mean, you could have watched the first match and turned it off and not really worried. You know, but if you had to sit through it and come to the end, at least you got a decent ending here. Sort of. Again, take his shit. Takes a loss. Clean. In the ring. Don Callis at ringside on commentary doesn't really help him. And he loses to Swerve. At least it took two of Swerve's big... it took all of Swerve's moves. He hit him with a headbutt. He got the house call, and then he kicked out. Then he got a headbutt. Then he got Takeshita got a jumping knee, and then Takeshita went for a pop-up, which went into his stomp. Swerve hits a nice, beautiful stomp. Then big pressure from Swerve. We get the 1, 2, 3. This match went 19 minutes and 40 seconds because we had to have an overrun, which Tony Khan put out an hour earlier. Oh, we have room for an overrun, and I'm like, why? Can you not book your show accordingly? Period. Why do you need an overrun? Why do you need to go on Twitter and tell the whole world, oh, we got extra time? Why? See, when WCW did it, they made it mean something. When you do it, you just waste it. You just like, oh, I want to make extra time for a match to go longer. It serves no purpose. It's not the wrestler's fault. It's just you go, oh, here's the time you have. We're just going to make it go over. It serves no purpose. When WCW did it most of the times, it served a freaking purpose.
And it's not
It's
like WCW hasn't
stupid.
done it also, but just like WCW, they made sense of it.
Yeah, but they also didn't go out there and go, oh, we're going to have an overrun. We're going to overrun. We're going to go overrun. When they came in the match and it got there that time, they're like, we're going to stay with this match. It was a little different when we're hearing, oh, we got an overrun. And Tony Khan's on Twitter going, oh, I got extra time because I can't book a freaking show. And then they tell you each and every week, it's each and every freaking week, they're always like, oh, we're going to stay with this match until it ends. Like, no shit, because we already know Tony Khan came on Twitter and told us it was an overrun. It was a good match. Unfortunately, Take a Shit takes another loss. I think Take a Shit's stock is falling. Hopefully, it doesn't become like Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE, that he was a big hype, and now they're like, okay, we don't know what to do with you. I don't know if Tony's given up on this toy. Afterwards, we got Joe saying how he feels about it. We're getting Joe and Swerve. Please, for the prayer of God, that Hangman doesn't return to get involved in this dumb shit in any way. I swear, they're gonna have Hangman. They're gonna have Hangman as a special guest referee in this crap. Tony Khan.
I don't know about that far, but I can understand why you would say that.
Tony Khan, you're an idiot. Why do you go on X and tell everybody, I got extra time to overrun? It makes you look stupid. Do you not understand the concept? we got extra time. Nobody really cares that you got extra time, but going out there and saying it makes you look stupid because it tells me you can't book your show accordingly. So you have to call up the network. Can we get extra time? Okay, sure. And we all know, if anybody's watched WTBS for their lifetime, that most of those shows run from 5 minutes after to 5 minutes after anyways. Always has been. Everything started at 6:05. Go ahead, Mr. Clarke. Tell us what you think of this match, because I'm just...
You're already done. You're over it. I know. The only question I kind of have is what they called the house call. I thought it was called the drive-by. So I don't know if they just changed the name or if I just missed it somehow or what the deal was there.
I think they change the name of the moves every week.
I mean, it's like you kind of already knew because that they're running with Swerve right now to head towards that world title match. Excuse me, not the run. We'll see. That's where it was going over. So getting mad about it almost seems pointless to me. But I thought, even within the context of what this match was, I thought it was a great match to watch. I had fun watching it.
No, it's a good match. The in-ring was good, but I was already kind of burnt out by that point.
I understand the argument as far as progression. You and I can go back on that all the time. It does nothing for Takeshita. I understand.
Yeah, it's his second loss in a weekend. Second loss in his last two matches. So I mean, it doesn't really.
But even the wins he's had have been kind of iffy. Like when you have to have Don Callis go in with a screwdriver, it's like, what does that say about? It's like you're not looked upon as a badass the way Samoa Joe is. At least when Samoa Joe does something, he's made look strong, and they're not pushing anyone else like that. So it's like, I try to find what I can enjoy out of what I know is going to happen. And if something unexpected happens, then I guess I take it from there.
Excellent booking by Tony Khan. This is a great picture. If I could show it to you, it'd be a whole different thing. What a horrible. There's a botch by your Tampon Bucks, your EVPs.
Oh God, that botch towards the end of their match. Like, this is something they do every match they're in, practically. How do you botch that hardcore? The EVP trigger, or what they were calling it, sorry, the Tony Khan trigger, whatever they're calling it now. They're still called finishing maneuver.
Shut up, Uncle Dave. If you watch AEW, they do that much for almost every match and more of a ton. AEW has so many stories at once you can't even remember which one, and that is an issue. Not that they don't have stories.
What the? Why is Uncle Dave on the crack pipe again? Oh my God.
Tony Khan can't book. This was, I don't know. It's... Oh, the rankings are out. What?
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's see. The rankings are here, ladies and gentlemen. For the Trios Tag Titles, the House of Black sits at number 5. The Undisputed Kingdom sit at number 4. The Blackpool Combat Club at number 3. The Elite at number 2. And number 1 is the Bang Bang Gang. For the tag team,
the reformation of the Elite have barely had one match together.
The Tag Team Championship rankings stand as this: FTR at number 5, Big Bill and Ricky Stark at number 4, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, who aren't even in the tournament, and AEW has no reason for it. They're number 3, but they're not even in the tournament. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson at number 2, and Best Friends are the number 1 contenders for the vacated tag.
Right.
Oh, this gets better. For the women's titles, both the AEW Women's World title and the TBS title, both these titles have the same rankings. Number 5, Serena Deeb. Number 4, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 3, Willow Nightingale. Number 2, Mariah May. And number 1, Thunder Rosa.
And who of name value have some of these people beaten? Yeah, they've had some squash matches, and what the...
Now, for your men's ranking, which is your AEW World title, your TNT Championship, your International Championship, and your Continental Crown Championship. Number 5, Bryan Danielson. Number 4, Will Ospreay. Number 3, Jon Moxley. Number 2, Orange Cassidy. And number 1, Swerve Strickland.
That's have found needs for less.
And Sid Vicious wants to powerbomb the Diddler.
Sid Vicious wants to powerbomb a lot of people and a lot of things.
What is this? I mean, and are you going to watch Collision? Because you want to watch Collision because now Adam Copeland is John Cena, and he's going to have the Cope Cup or the Cope Challenge every week. He's going to have the Open Cup, the Open Cope Challenge for a title that he's won twice in less than 6 months. Remember that, people. Please remember that he's won that title twice in less than 6 months.
Collision is like John Cena. I can't see it. Jeez.
Yeah, I'd rather see Cena than Collision though. So you can go watch the Cope Open on Collision. So Adam Cope can help other stars get over by beating them.
By defeating them.
I think we have a difference in what that means, Mr. Copeland.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the show, watch the first, watch the last, call it a night, save yourself the headache. If you want to look at the beautiful women, you can pause or you can mute the commentators and just watch it.
Jeez.
Anyways, is there anything else you want to add? I know this is a short one. We're only 35 minutes into this program. We might get to 40, but yeah.
Lord, I don't even know where to go with this. We rag on Tony Khan's booking all the time because he's not making sense. He's not giving us the reasons that we know he has the ability. Early AEW gave us the ability to want to watch. It wasn't just because WWE's booking at the time was so bad. Like, there was some good ideas there. Granted, it was the new thing, but it was also good in general. Where Tony lost his magic, I don't know.
What if I put it to this? Let's put it this way: Does Tony Khan have more people in attendance or more people on his roster?
That's a good question.
This, I don't know.
Or maybe we need to go back to the pandemic when the roster was in with the audience area because you're not supposed to have fans there. Jeez.
I don't know what to say about this show. I mean, in-ring action, you got good stuff, but I mean, Ospreay and Danielson luckily can sell itself. Hopefully we're done with Joe and Swerve after this pay-per-view because I'm about to puke on this. And now we're getting Willow Nightingale against Julia Hart. It just feels pick up, replace. The Young Bucks are going to win these tag team titles. We're probably going to get Young Bucks versus FTR number 4. Unless Tony Khan's going to have the infantry beat FTR too. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Or if the Young Bucks are running this tournament. I don't know. We don't even know who's running what anymore.
Well, the buck stops at Tony Khan regardless of whose other ideas are pitched in there.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, watch the show. Love the show. Hate the show. If you're watching this later, love our show. Love us. And just in case you hadn't known, welcome to the new Big Time Studios here. Some of my collection of stuff back here. Doing something a little different. We'll see how it works out. Tell me what you think. Anyways, leave your comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this out with your friends, family, and everybody who loves professional wrestling. Let them know that we've done a show that's a review of AEW Dynamite. Tomorrow will be your weekend preview. So be ready for that. That'll be up on air tomorrow to tell you what's coming up from Thursday to Wednesday of next week. So you can have your hearts broken because then you know what you'll be getting ready for next week's Dynamite. Yeah. Got a week away. Friday will be SmackDown. Me and Mr. Clarke will be here live to cover up the post show on SmackDown to see the fallout. Some of what Monday Night Raw is doing, and we're going to see what happens on SmackDown. Then, of course, me, Paul, Mr. Clarke, and Miguel Z will be here with your weekly roundup on Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you're here for that so we can cover all that. And then we're heading into the next week, and it's going to be a busy, busy week next week as we begin to get programs. And then we have 2 nights WrestleMania. And so, yes, finally WrestleMania is here. We're going to see how this all plays out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be entertaining. Can't wait to see that. This is your AEW Dynamite post-show review for March 27th. Make sure you check us out every day on the shorts. It's this date in wrestling history. Get to learn lots of great stuff. Today was kind of fun. As we get closer to WrestleMania, we're talking about past WrestleMania. There's a lot of entertainment there. I also posted earlier the Dark Side of the Ring for Season 5, Episode 4. Facing the Saving Face, the Brutus the Beefcake story. I went into that. Wasn't one of the better shows of this season, but it was still there. It was still an okay show. But yeah, go check out all that stuff and everything else we have on the channel. Before this, make sure you ring the bell for notifications. And if you're not a member or haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are trying to march closer to things, and we're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. We need each and every one of your help. If you want to chat on the bandwagon now, join on it. We may be having some new stickers come soon. I don't know what we're going to do with those. We're hoping to get into some events here in the very near future where you can come out and meet us and we can talk professional wrestling, but we're going to have to see how that all plays out. If not, we may do something else. I've got a lot of extra action figures, so maybe once we hit 1,000, we can do some type of surprise giveaway. I don't know. Maybe that's the mark. You help us get to 1,000. We might have something to send out contest 1,000 mark. And Mr. Clarke's going to dance for you. We can't forget that. And I think Mr. Z promised something. I forget what that is. So, and we're still working on a new music video for you. We're doing our own variation of Joe Henry.
We should have that out at least by this Sunday, before or during.
Oh, that may be our Sunday. We may introduce that on Sunday during our show, and then post it up on its own individually later. So yeah, awesome. So you might want to be here Sunday. That may be the debut of the Value of Wrestling music or theme or whatever we're going to call it. So be here for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here. Until the next one, Mr. Clarke, is there anything else you want to add to this before we shut off, say goodbye, and get out of here?
And we are just so close to WrestleMania. I can't wait. That's going to be a busy week, though, next week.
Yep, next week's going to be busy, so get ready. We'll see you on the next one, though.